This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Assalamu alaikum and welcome everybody. For ASS News, I am Asman bin Likin. Brock Jerkinson is away on assignment right now, figuring out what will happen to ass eating now that Taco Bell is facing some shortages. But with me right now, we have a special guest to come on, Mr. Kyle Brunswick. Welcome, Kyle. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So there's been some chatter going on and some raised eyebrows on you guys protesting and for some background, everybody, Kyle is actually a white supremacist. He is part of a white supremacist group over in Wisconsin. Where exactly, I do not know. We don't condone violence on our guests, so we don't want to say Kenosha where he could be. So you guys are protesting this new announcement from Ben and Jerry's for taking their product out of Jewish stores within occupied Jerusalem. Now, why is that?
Well, first of all, let me just say that while we respect everyone's right to free speech, except for the Jews, we obviously think it's important that people recognize that what Ben & Jerry's is doing is an affront to humanity. It is simply a bridge too far. And I'm a white supremacist. Kyle Brunswick, who is nowhere near Kenosha, Wisconsin, is stating for the record that Ben & Jerry's taking themselves out of Israel is simply too much for white supremacists.
Now this is quite the story for what's going on. So basically, you're saying that what Ben & Jerry's is doing is a bridge too far and wouldn't be something that you as a white supremacist would be doing against the Jews.
No, not at all. If I were Ben & Jerry's, I would be including more and more stores because, as we all know, Ben & Jerry's gives you a one-way ticket towards diabetes and heart disease. And the fact that they want to purify the land of Israel, which includes both Jews and Muslims, by the way, that they would take that privilege away from them and cut their lifespans in half, I will say, is sickening. It breaks my heart.
So basically, what you guys are actually protesting is them not being able to eat Ben & Jerry's that would cause them to have diabetes.
Yes, and potentially die sooner. Yes.
So the affront to humanity is the fact that they can't get these diseases?
Absolutely. The fact that both Jews and Muslims, who are by far inferior to people such as Kyle Brunswick, who is not from Kenosha, Wisconsin, of 123 42069 Fairmont Lane. I will say that it is important that obviously the world knows that what Ben & Jerry's is doing is simply making the world filthier, not with pollution, but with people who are inferior to us.
And also making sure that they're healthier and not, taking out their lifespan.
I mean,
exactly. And if anyone's going to question your whiteness, I mean, you can see that bin right next to you is even darker than you are. You're white as shit.
That is very true. At first is Ben & Jerry's. What's next? McDonald's? I mean, can you imagine people not getting their cholesterol shooting through the roof, particularly in Israel and occupy West Bank and Gaza? Jews and Muslims living longer, all because McDonald's decides, hey, you know what? We're going to protest. We're going to protest and boycott the land of Israel. We don't agree with that occupation. How dare they? And how dare Ben & Jerry's?
Well, what are Candace's thoughts?
I'm sorry, Candace? What's going on, Habibi? Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Let's go.
What's your message to platforms like Facebook?
Two questions. Have you yourself gotten vaccinated, and do you disagree with the Republican whip?
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights.
A monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, the BBs? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Hey, buddy.
Ernie.
He is back.
Ernie is there with us.
I haven't been back in a month. I can't tell you how excited I am for this. What's up, buddy? You good?
Our Lord and King and Sheikh.
Our Lord and Savior, the Urn. How y'all doing, Habibis? None the wiser. Says, need to get to bed, so can't stay. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm joining the locals. Why? Well, I want to share some of my raw, unfiltered thoughts.
Beautiful.
Now,
Beautiful
people were concerned about me last week and rage quitting the stream because I have to say it did certainly look like I rage quit.
Just a little bit. I mean, not too bad. It wasn't that. No, we dunked on you hard.
Yeah. So I see David says Siraj looking fresh in the denim jacket. Oh, you're just trying to kiss up after what you did last week, Damon.
Yeah, Damon was one
Brooklyn
of the hardest
Dad.
ones on you.
Brooklyn Dad.
Brooklyn Dan hurt you.
Yeah, he really did. Brooklyn Dad really did hurt me. And when he hurts me, he hurts Earn. Did you really want that on your conscience? Can't believe it. Jane says Siraj spent the night crying under a cold shower. Okay, real quick. Let me get the lead up right here. Hold on one second. Sorry, Jake. Give me one moment. I'm just pulling up.
No worries.
Google.
This is just another Chronicles of Boomer Siraj. So while you're doing that, I have an announcement. Habibi,
hold on one second.
I'm joining locals.
Why
locals? It's because you're going to be able to get my unfiltered, raw thoughts on issues that really matter. Get away from the shit posting. And finally, for you, the Habibis.
Here it is. This is what I was looking for.
Mr. Biden, bring my vaccine. Keep me protected from COVID-19. Tell me the trick to how I might earn a fix of that magic Pfizer or Moderna. Biden, give me a poke. They call you sleepy, but you're pretty woke.
Okay, sorry. I had to just do it at least for like 30 sequends. I'm
going to have to.
I'm out of focus. Both Ern and I are out of focus. How you doing, buddy?
And we need Earn in focus. Like, it doesn't matter about you. There you go. See, look, you touch Earn and it knows to get you in focus.
That's true. Actually, I want to start off. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks on winning the NBA championship.
Yes.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. He scored what they call a nickel. Scored 50. Put up 50 on the Phoenix Suns in Game 6. Got MVP.
Why would that be called
MVP.
a nickel? A nickel's only 5. It doesn't make any sense. Are you sure it's called a nickel?
It's a good question.
Not 5 dimes? 10 nickels? He put up 10 nickels? 5 dimes?
Jay, why do you make me feel this way? Ernie's ashamed to be around you.
No, he just
don't listen to him.
What I was saying, oh, I can't say. I was gonna.
No, I actually, no. This is no Giannis. Giannis actually, I'm really happy for him. I felt bad for Chris Paul at first, but then I remembered Giannis Antetokounmpo had the choice of ditching his team and going to a super team, and he said no. He stuck it with the team that drafted him, the Milwaukee Bucks. He said he would never leave until his team got a championship. And he did just that. And in fact, I will say this. There is this really good clip that he said, I think, after his Game 5 win, so when the Bucks were up 3-2. So it was right before the Bucks won the championship. Let me just play that for you.
I mean, you're 26 years old, and, you know, I've covered plenty of players who didn't seem like they figured the ego part out until their 30s. I mean, who taught you about why that's important and to handle it that way?
I think I'll say life. Usually, let me tell you this. Usually, when from my experience, right? Like when I think about like, oh yeah, I did this. I'm so great. I had 30. I had 25, 10, and 10, or whatever the case might be. Because you're gonna think about that. Oh, we won this and that. Usually, the next day you're gonna suck.
Right.
Simple as that. You like the next few days you're gonna be terrible. And I figured out like a mindset to have that, like when you focus on the past, that's your ego. I did this. We were able to, beat this team 4-0. We did. I did this in the past. I won that in the past. Right. And when I focus in the future, is my pride. Like, yeah, next game, Game 5, I'll do this and this and this. Right. I'm going dominate. That's your pride talking. Like it doesn't happen. Like you're right here, and I kind of like try to focus in the in the moment, in the present, and that's humility. That's being humble. That's not setting no expectation. That's going out there, enjoying the game, competing at a high level. And I think I've had people throughout my life that helped me with that. But that's a skill that I've tried to like kind of how you say, kind of like perfect it. Master it, and it's been working so far.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stop.
You're doing okay.
All right, so there you have Giannis. Shout out to him.
And again, you just let it go, play to the end. Absolute fucking
every single time. Every single
Always.
time. I got to do it. But yes, definitely Habibi of the week. Except he did something that is actually unforgivable. And Jay, I completely forgot to download the video, but I can show you this. And the Chronicles of Boomer Siraj continue. Fucking AJ.
People come here expecting a certain standard, Siraj, and you keep on disappointing all the time. We are all your father right now. We are all your father today.
I know, seriously. So you have Giannis literally ordering a 50-piece chicken McNugget. I'm sorry, not chicken McNugget. Chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. Everything I said about Giannis, and I mean, I can't believe he did this to me.
Hero, legend.
I can't believe he did
Absolute
this to me.
legend. I had Chick-fil-A today.
Oh,
absolutely, and I was thinking of you the whole time I was eating it. I was, Siraj can't eat this.
Of course,
Siraj can't eat this. Oh, of course. And good for. Is this their first? Is this Bucks' first win ever?
No, they won back in 1971. So it's been 50 years since they won the championship.
50 years, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I guess, yeah, back then it didn't matter. But I will say this though. Giannis is the definition of the American dream. He is a son of Nigerian immigrants, grew up in Greece, came to the United States basically when he was drafted, and then just worked his tail off. He got most improved player in 2017. He got defensive player of the year. He got MVP twice, NBA MVP, which is no small feat. And then he got NBA Finals MVP. And man, a lot of people were dogging James Harden, who, by the way, is a CCP simp, for saying he criticized Giannis back a little while ago, saying that all that Giannis knows how to do is just run and dunk. So the fact that Giannis basically just came through and just destroyed everyone and all the haters, I got to give
It was
him
great.
a shout out. Yeah, I got to give him a big salute to that. So
Absolutely.
even Earn recognizes how huge, what size of a dub that is. So, but yes, Jay, did you know that? I mean, I know we're gonna get into the Ben and Jerry's in just a moment, but did you know that Ben and Jerry? I'm sorry, not Ben and Jerry. Jeff Bezos went into outer space.
He did on a nice big dick.
Yeah, I thought I was I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was hallucinating, but then I actually saw the actual rocket. What is it? There we go. Jay, how is that dick? I mean, I've never seen a white guy possess that level of, what is it, penis inferiority?
I mean, who wouldn't want to wear a cowboy hat? Who wouldn't want to wear a cowboy hat? It's got a what?
That's got a head and shaft.
It's got it all.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not a red rocket like Ernie's. Ernie is going to murder me.
No, but I mean, it's great. He wore a cowboy hat and went directly on a dick-shaped rocket into space. Like, that's not the American dream. Like, what the fuck is?
I mean, Jeff Bezos, who what's kind of funny is that did you see that video that Pitbull put out about Cuba?
I did.
So I don't have the video on hand, but interestingly enough, like he had like some kind of a based statement about freedom. And then he mentioned Jeff Bezos, which was just a weird segue, saying that Jeff Bezos is also Cuban. And I'm just thinking to myself, why would you even mention Jeff Bezos? Everybody fucking hates that guy.
Well, it's probably because of him being able to have the success he had in the United States while being Cuban.
Yeah.
Where's a Cuban gonna get that level of success in Cuba? Unless, of course, he's the head of Cuba.
Yeah,
but you're not going to see it. So I think that's where he was bringing it in, and also trying to call out Jeff Bezos in order to, do something and help the Cubans and the Cuban mainland. I get this hate on Jeff Bezos, like to a certain extent, but then other than that, it's like, shut the fuck up, man. Everybody uses Amazon, and it's like, fuck Jeff Bezos. When is my Amazon package getting here? Like, fuck you, dude. Like, we get it. You don't like him because he's rich as shit. Like, what else is there? Like, why is it that we're hating on Jeff Bezos for being fucking rich as fuck and being able to, most of our lives have been enhanced because of Amazon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to Jeff Bezos's credit, just to be fair, he did just reach just the tip of space. He went up, but he didn't go all the way in. He just is it in, and then came back down.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like inspiration from you. He goes up 2 minutes, the tip just in, comes right back down, goes to sleep.
Comes. I probably need a cigarette after that. The rocket I'm talking about. But Jeff Bezos is one of those people who absolutely deserves the criticism, because while he is filthy rich, he's also trying to make sure that he doesn't pay any money in taxes and has big tech's basically is the one big tech company that's holding the giant swinging dick of around Washington. I mean, he owns the Washington Post, and basically all they do is censor content on their own platform within Amazon, and then basically shell out merchandise from China, emboldening the Communist Chinese Party.
Well, that's one thing that I think the United States government has failed on in and of itself, is not sanctioning companies that do business the way that they do with China. And I think that is a failure on foreign policy, and it's a failure on the United States government. So if I mean, if I'm a company and I'm able to go and make money, I'll go make money. These woke, like Nike just comes out as woke while they still use their Chinese slave labor, and nothing happens to them. People still go buy their shoes. But if we came in as the United States government and shanking the shit out of these companies.
Sorry, I'm trying to lower the seat.
That is not what it looked like you were trying to do.
I was trying to.
I thought you had peanut butter in your pants, and you're trying to give her a snack. Yeah. That's what it looked like.
Do you want to get down, bud? Do you want to get down? I don't have anything for you here, except the show and the Habibi.
He's just looking right at you. He needs pets. He missed you.
Yeah, no, he does. He's been very nice. He's been very sweet. In the last day, he's come to sit with me while just hanging out. Not like now. Now he wants to get away. Anyways,
and also, I applaud anyone who doesn't pay taxes or finds a way not to pay taxes. I applaud them. I look at all different kind of avenues and ways not to pay taxes.
Well, it's. I mean, there is one thing to be said about not paying taxes in general, just because taxation is theft. But I will say this: all that money he's holding up, he is definitely giving to people who don't have, I think, the American people's best interests in mind. So, but that's what happens when you're basically a corporatist, like Jeff Bezos. So,
right. That's why you need to sanction the shit out of them.
That's why we need send them a Gitmo. So,
exactly right. I mean, taxing them's not going to do shit.
Well, that's true. But we'll see what happens because.
The tax money goes to the government that doesn't even have the American people's best interests at heart. I mean, if you look here in the United States,
that's true too.
California,
and the tax thing might be based, but at the same time, I think there is. I think you can still look at it and say Jeff Bezos isn't a good person, but it's good that he's not giving the United States government all of his money, because that would remove the incentive for a lot of people to try to succeed to his level, which honestly, I can't see. And I mean, there might be another Jeff Bezos, but it won't happen for like another generation, I think.
No, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. So,
there's always us Habibi Bros. So make sure to sub.
I did forget to plug our stuff, but it's okay. We did start an Instagram though.
Mm-hmm. Habibi_Bros.
Yeah, just like the Twitter handle. So
a lot of halal content of me and Siraj fake making out.
Basically, me getting dunked on again and again. But yes, moving on. Did you see that in light of obviously the Milwaukee Bucks winning the NBA Finals, the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Buccaneers, they went to the White House, and here's a little clip of that.
But we found our rhythm. We got on a roll. Not a lot of people, think that we could have won. And in fact, I think about 40% of the people still don't think we won.
I understand that.
You understand that, Mr. President?
I understand that.
Yeah. And personally, it's nice for me to be back here. We had a game in Chicago where I forgot what down it was. I lost track of one down in 21 years of playing, and they started calling me Sleepy Tom. Why would they do that to me? So,
yeah, man, I don't know how you hate Tom Brady. The man just keeps slinging zingers.
You can't hate him left or right.
I will say this, though. I know that he is supposedly friends with President Trump. He's played golf with him. He had a MAGA hat back in 2015, I want to say. Something around there. Do you think Trump saw that? You think he saw that clip?
Oh, I'm sure he saw that. I'm sure he did.
How do you think he would have reacted?
Probably with a sense of humor.
You sure?
I mean, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah,
right? I think he would have handled it with a sense of humor. To be honest, it's not like he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna tweet out like Brady was never a great quarterback or put out a statement or some shit.
Are you sure about
I don't think
that?
Did he? Did he already put out a statement?
I haven't seen one yet.
All right. If he does put out a statement insulting Tom Brady and not, joking around with him, I will chug. Okay, not chug. Hold on. I don't want to kill myself.
Well,
give me a second here. I'll take 3 shots. Whatever the Habibis want me to take, I'll take 3 shots of whatever it is.
Are you sure?
If he ever releases a statement. So you choose the 3 shots I take live on air, and then I'll choose the 3 shots you take live on air. If he doesn't mention anything, like if he doesn't seriously try to insult Tom Brady between now and next episode.
Okay. All right. Between now and next episode.
Next live episode. That's what it's going to do. And then once we find, and what I'm saying is, if he's joking, it doesn't count. But if he's being serious, it does.
How will you know?
By giving you shots.
Maybe
we'll have it. We'll do a poll.
Hold on. No. You got Dave Beebe says 3 shots of Siraj's man juice. That's what you're getting.
No, that's not. God damn it! I should have clarified a little bit more. I forgot who watches our show. Jesus, no, guys, that's not what it is. Alcohol wise, like rum, vodka, tequila. Okay. I mean, you can tell me to take 3 shots of beer because I hate beer.
We probably would make it take shots of beer. What is it, buddy? You okay? Good boy. Okay. So, you know how we opened up the show by making fun of Ben and Jerry's? Well, it's actually kind of interesting how we worked our way up to that point, because the initial premise of the cold open was literally going to be how Ben and Jerry's being removed from Israel is worse than the Holocaust. And you know what's even worse? I shit you not, you can't parody this. Israel's president Isaac Herzog called it a new form of terrorism. He called Ben and Jerry's out of Israel a new form of terrorism, calling it economic terrorism. And then he says terrorism tries to harm the citizens of Israel and the economy of Israel. We must oppose this boycott and terrorism in any form. I mean, Jay, that's a little much. That's just
it is. It is because aren't they still selling it in Israel, like in Israeli stores?
Yeah, they'll be selling it at least until the license expires at the end of next year. So that's another 1.5 years of Ben and Jerry's being sold there.
No, but I'm saying that, like, aren't they even selling it in Israel itself? Or are they taking it out of all Israeli stores?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. They say Ben and Jerry says they're going to announce their plans soon, but this is what their statement says. It says, we believe it is inconsistent with our values for Ben and Jerry's ice cream to be sold in the occupied Palestinian territory. We also hear and recognize the concern shared with us by our fans and trusted partners. We have a long-standing partnership with our licensee who manufactures Ben and Jerry's ice cream in Israel and distributes it in the region. We have been working to change this, and so we have informed our licensee that we will not renew the license agreement when it expires at the end of next year. Although Ben and Jerry's will no longer be sold in the OPT, as in the occupied Palestinian territory, we will stay in Israel through a different arrangement. We will share an update on this as soon as we're ready. So what do you think they're going to do, Jay? Are they going to join Hamas?
Well, they probably are going to go and build it within the same apartment complex that AP and Hamas live in.
That's how they're going to set up.
Get the AP journalists to start making Ben and Jerry ice cream.
Yeah,
it's just stupid. It's all very, very stupid because they're like, yeah, we're not going to sell it over in here because of the Palestinians, but we'll sell it in Israel proper. But those other places have Palestinians living there, so you're going to deprive them from your ice cream. You stupid fucks.
I'm just waiting for Ben and Jerry's to pull the plug on all their operations because they operate within the United States and they can't possibly sell a product in a capitalist nation like the United States. It's going to happen.
No, absolutely. And then they're going to still sell in China and all that kind of stupid shit. No, seriously, these people, they pretend like they hold some kind of value because it's easy. These are easy to say, oh, I'm against the occupation from Israel. These are easy to say. Nothing's going to happen to you in terms of like real repercussions to your company. But you come out and say that China is a piece of fucking garbage and for what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims, then you're going to see billions of dollars being lost to your company. That's why Nike bends over and sucks China's dick while coming over here and pretending like America is not the freest fucking country in the world. Like, it's sick. I mean, Nike has given billions of dollars to Black Americans. Where are the billions that they're going to be given to Uyghur Muslims?
Well,
is that ever going to happen? It's never going to happen.
Well, I mean, it is probably in billions, but it's like billions of, what is it, Yuan, Chinese yuan, through forced labor of making their shoes and merchandise. Ernie looks so tired right now. Anyways, I want to respond to this. Face says, I hate to agree with him and I hate Ben and Jerry's, but you're missing his point. Giving into the movement and de facto delegitimizing Israel is harmful. I don't doubt that I don't disagree with you that it's harmful, but using the phrase, and I think it's rather hyperbolic to say it's straight up terrorism, I think is somewhat over the top. So, but that's, again, I'm so used to seeing hyperbole and calling it out for what it is. And when I see it seems like a bit of hyperbole to say this is terrorism. I think there's a way to phrase it where you say it's harmful to delegitimize the state of Israel. I mean, this is very much a part of BDS. And this is, I'd say that BDS would probably agree with this statement and this move. So,
no, they would. And BDS is anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Speaking of other hate-filled incidents, did you see what happened in Alabama today? This is fucking crazy. Let me play this clip.
I mean, I know I'm black. Do we have? You want to address what I have to say? Do we have a house nigger in here? Yeah, okay. Do we? Hey, yeah, do we? Would she please stand up? Y'all are seeing this, right? Camera.
What the fuck?
This you even heard somebody say, what the fuck?
Yeah, you heard someone say, what the fuck? That was Tommy Bryant, a councilman, an Alabama city councilman who said on Monday, basically using literally the N-word with the hard R during a hearing. And
also house in front of it too. Like, that is just.
Yeah. He said this, making this outburst during exchange with Terrence's first black mayor, 41-year-old Wayman Newton, over some of Bryant's wife's racially provocative comments on Facebook. Now, according to the Bama Politics report, what led to Bryant's use of the racial slur during the meeting starts with a citizen identified as Chuck appears to stand up for Bryant, accusing the other city council members of using Bryant as a punching bag. Chuck asked Bryant why he hasn't defended himself in the past and then asked Bryant to do that. For the next few minutes, Bryant takes the floor and his points are scattered. Bryant and Newton have a few back and forth exchanges, and Bryant complains about being interrupted by others in the past. Just after the 1 hour and 38-minute mark in the video, Newton takes the floor and brings up Bryant's wife and her social media posts. From there, the exchange grows with another city council member commenting about his wife's social media posts and Bryant defending himself, stating that his wife does not speak for him. And then, this is the final bit. Just before the 1 hour and 41-minute mark, an unidentified person in the audience states that Bryant's wife used the N-word on Facebook. This leads directly into Bryant's use of the racial slur, saying, let's get the N-word. Let's get to the N-word before using the line, do we have a house N-word in here? Pointing to his left, apparently directing attention to city council member Veronica Freeman, who is sitting in the video that you saw that we just played, and claiming that Newton used the slur in reference to her. Jay, what the fuck is... I mean, we've all talked about racism happening from both sides. Specifically, you have the white supremacists, the groypers, you have people who are so woke that they become racist on the left. How you never hear, I mean, like, at least in this day and age, literally saying a white man saying the N-word during a city council hearing. I mean, this guy's got to go. This guy's got to resign.
Yeah, well, not only resign, they gotta put in place a way to kick him out too if he refuses to resign. Like, he has to get the fuck out of there. Like, they have to bring in like 2 really big bouncers, take him out, and throw him the fuck out of his office. Tell him, get the fuck out of there. It's done. That seat better be vacant in the next week.
You sure you wouldn't handle it? I mean, I know you're only 5'4", but I feel like you probably would strike fear into his heart.
Oh, absolutely. And then I'll go find his mom.
Jay, I mean, he's 76 years old. I don't know if his mom's still alive, but if he is,
that's not going to stop me. You think that will stop me? This is for what's right.
I salute you, Jay. I salute you.
I'm a man. I'm a man of my.
I'm a man
of my principles.
I'm a man. Faye says this guy deserves canceling. How definitely. Sai Karan ready, Skir ready, or Strick ready. Thank you for the $20. That doesn't make sense. Not a fan of U.S. Women's National Team, equal pay fight. But what do you think of the unfair dunking against after losing 3-0 to Sweden in the Olympics? It is a sport, win or lose. Shouldn't we be Team USA? 44 unbeaten before this, by the way. Yeah, I feel weird about like dunking on the U.S. Women's National Team after losing to Sweden. Like, ultimately, they're American. They represent the United States, and you want them to win. So I mean, be as woke as you want. You know, in the end of the day, if the U.S. doesn't get the gold, that's a shame to the country, and we should sacrifice.
What is the shame to the country when they don't even give a shit about playing for or representing the country? Like, they're winning the gold for themselves. They're not doing it for the country.
Well, I think in this particular, you know, what happened with the U.S. Women's National Team, like you got your Megan Rapinos, who gets on some woke bullshit, and you know, she talks a good game, and she's a great soccer player, and I mean, like, agree or disagree with her opinion, she has a right to her opinion. And given the fact that she is a very talented soccer player, I'm inclined to believe that she is allowed to talk as much shit as she wants to. Until you lose. Right? Until you lose. Now, if she starts talking shit between now and the next match, I would probably say to her, you just lost 3-0. You should probably focus on that next match rather than whatever bullshit it is that you're focusing on. So I'm in wait and see mode with the women's national team. If they start talking shit, then before the next match, that would be the one critique I'd be making. I don't know about you, Jay.
No, I'll still be making the same critique on them. Plus, the Swedes are a lot hotter than they are, too. I mean, the thing is like, it can go both ways. If you're not going to give a shit about this country or representing this country, why should I give a shit about you? Just because you have that uniform on that says USA, Team USA, you don't even believe in Team USA. Well, so why is it that I need to sit here and believe in you?
I think there's a bit of conflation here. Because, you know, Gwen Berry, who is the hammer thrower, she made it onto the Olympic team, and she seems like she's not proud to be an American. Now, within the last couple of weeks, I think before the U.S. send-off to the Olympics, I think of the final, what was it? The women's national team was standing for the national anthem, and I feel like they were unfairly maligned for either some were either facing the stands where all players face during the national anthem, and then some turned their backs away from the World War II vet who was playing the national anthem on the harmonica to look at the flag. No one was taking a knee. Now, if they said something outlandish that in light of that, that was purely anti-American, then I would be like, yeah, they definitely deserve the scrutiny. But I haven't heard anything. I mean, unless you can prove me wrong.
I probably could. You could see any one of her fucking interviews in the ways that they have even said that they don't represent, like they don't even want to represent the country. She herself has said that shit like that.
Jay,
what the fuck is her name?
Megan
the main, the main fucking chick, whatever her fucking name is.
Let me look this up.
I mean, you even have people who are playing for Cuba or playing for fucking Brazil or playing for fucking whatever, really proud to be playing for their country when they are legitimately fucking worse in every fucking freedom level to the United States. Every one of these countries are, but there's only one place, only one country where people are outspoken on why they hate their country. And they're allowed to do that because this country gives them the right to do it. The other countries don't. That's what's amazing about the United States of America. So no, I don't have to give a fuck about these people just because they wear the United States team badge on their boobies.
Sai says, Boomer me, first time super chat. Losing 3-0 to Sweden. Why would Ron DeSantis do this? Thank you, Daniel.
That motherfucker.
I don't know why Ron DeSantis would do this. Everyone's agreeing with Jay. Let's see. Kate says, Siraj, this is where you say you will do 3 shots of anything. Diet Sunkist if he's right.
No, alcoholic. God damn it, Katie. Why are you on his side? I don't understand it. You fucking white people. Always on each other's sides.
Nate Beebe says, our King Ern can't even stand to look at Siraj right now. That is essentially 100% true. Bart the Tree Guy, Siraj is a lib. Oh, man. Harkarat says USWT should join locals to let out their unfiltered thoughts. They should, Harkarat. I think you have a point there. So, man, wait, how did we get to talking about the U.S. women's now? Oh, it's because we got a super.
You're following your own.
No, that wasn't part of the rundown. That was not part of the rundown.
It wasn't. Oh, you're right. It isn't.
But Jay, did you see this shit? Jay, do you have your? Let me see your hands. Let me make sure your hands are out of your pants. All right, get ready for this. Your hands better still be up there by the time we get through this clip. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, but I don't want you to think that what I said at that point was in any way inauthentic. I think the media has done a terrible job on this. I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. I'm sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault. Fake news, and you say virtuous news.
We just figure out what is real.
I mean,
I'm listening.
Well, figuring out what is real is not so easy, and right. Most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry.
Well, then why'd you bother coming on CNN a few times this week?
I'm a book salesman.
I don't know what that clip was at the end with the what's it called? Jay, where are your hands?
Right here.
Are you sure?
They've been here the whole time.
Looking a little glossy right now.
That's just because I'm bald, you fucking baldest.
That was Michael Wolff dressing down Brian Stelter, and I'm pretty sure Jay creamed his jeans twice in that minute and a half clip. And Jay, I just have to say, it is quite interesting seeing Michael Wolff of all people saying what it is that everybody is thinking.
Yeah. It's insane that it's him that's doing it. I wish it was somebody else. I wish I was on there to really, let Brian Stelter know exactly what the public and everybody think of him. But it was Michael Wolff, and that's sad because Michael Wolff is going to be dismissed as being Michael Wolff. But
because he's obviously like fabricated shit, and everybody remembers the interview he did where he said he couldn't hear the host when the feed comes.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I can't hear you. What?
Me neither.
No, I can't hear you.
Sorry, your mouth is moving. I can't. What's that?
What? You said something?
Suck my balls.
Okay, I will. I can't hear
you. Maddie Heinrichsen says, how do we feel about athletes not being able to play after they test positive for COVID and have no symptoms?
I think they should.
Jay, that's super spreader. That's super spreader mentality. What are you, a Texas Democrat?
That's what they should have said. They're going to fight
the
Jim Crow 2.0.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I don't know if they should play. I honestly I can't. I'm not a doctor. Fuck. But
this is our raw, unfiltered opinions on issues that really matter, Siraj. So give us your raw, unfiltered opinion.
You want my raw, unfiltered opinion?
Your raw, unfiltered opinion on this.
I got the vaccine. You got the vaccine. They got the vaccine. We got the vaccine. We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. Yeah. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing out people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those days. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
Just every single time I listen to it makes me feel good inside. Hey, Mary says I'll send some extra Tide Pods. She'll send some extra Tide Pods. That's beautiful. Thank you, beautiful. Mom. So Jay,
this is talking about me creaming my pants, Mom.
Oh, that.
The fuck are you doing?
Oh my God. Just amazing.
This
is beautiful.
Now you guys see where I get it from. Like everybody's like, where do you get this from? Where is it from? Is it from your dad? It's from your mom. Blah, blah, blah. Look, my mom's white and a liberal. Like that's her. It's all disgustingness is from my mother.
Crazy. This actually is a good dovetail into our some of our top issues. For one, basically CNN is coming out and saying, say goodbye to your carefree COVID summer. Apparently, the Delta variant is so bad that we're all going to die again. So
we knew this was coming. Like everybody who is now considered a conspiracy theorist or, Alex Jones knew this was going to be coming. These people don't want to let go of the power that they have by considering this an emergency to control you. They're going to control you with fear. They're going to control you with lockdowns, masks. Everybody has to be indoors with masks again. Everybody needs to get like 69 different shots.
Nice.
Like this is essentially 100% how they're going to come in and try to take more and more of your rights away. I mean, I swear to God, people are not going to stand for this shit. We have already seen, just in restaurants alone, we have seen over 100,000 restaurants closed permanently in California.
Yeah.
That's not just around the whole fucking country.
That's what.
Do you think we're going to be able to withstand the rest of them closing?
Yeah, no. I don't think we can handle it. The fact that actually we're probably going to get into that discussion tomorrow night. We got Carol Roth on the show tomorrow night.
Yes,
that's
we do.
Going to be for our demigod Habibis. Y'all be able to tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. East. But for every other Patreon Habibi, y'all can see that interview in full this weekend with Carol Roth. We're going to be talking about their new book titled The War on Small Business, and specifically focuses on essentially 100% COVID recap and the havoc it wreaked against small business in America. Interesting book. I am nearly done with it. I'll have it done before we talk to her tomorrow night. And but that will be a good episode. We'll be able to get into it in more detail there. And Carol Roth, if you're not familiar with her, on Twitter, great account, great follow, a lot of engaging content, but also very smart. She's got a very unique. She was an investment banker for at least a decade or something like that, so she knows her shit. But it's also interesting that we got since this rise of COVID cases, it's gotten to the point where even Fox News, who has railed against vaccine passports, is starting to take this shit seriously.
Just like we've been saying, please take COVID seriously. I can't say it enough. Enough people have died. We don't need any more death. Research like crazy. Talk to your doctor, your doctors, medical professionals you trust based on your unique medical history, your current medical condition, and you and your doctor make a very important decision for your own safety. Take it seriously. You also have a right to medical privacy. Doctor-patient confidentiality is also important, and it absolutely makes sense for many Americans to get vaccinated. I believe in science. I believe in the science of vaccination.
So that's Sean Hannity, and kind of a break from what he normally talks about. Basically says, take the virus seriously. But it's okay, because Habibis, don't worry, we have Marjorie Taylor Greene to soothe your anxiety.
Aaron Navarro, CBS News. Whip Scalise said today he got vaccinated, citing this Delta variant that's going around, and said he's confident that it's safe and effective. Two questions. Have you yourself gotten vaccinated, and do you disagree with the Republican whip?
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights. You see, with HIPAA rights, we don't have to reveal our medical records, and that also involves our vaccine records.
And do you disagree with
So, Jay.
Wait, I was on the edge of my seat. Did she disagree?
I don't know.
I
think it's a violation of her.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
I think it's a violation of her HIPAA rights to reveal whether she disagrees. That's Jay. I'm just gonna. Anytime my wife asks me if I just went and used the toilet and took a massive shit, I'm just gonna say that question is a violation of my HIPAA rights.
Well, then why didn't you flush?
Again, a violation of my HIPAA rights. Essentially 100%.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So that's probably explains why my wife will leave me again.
Over and over again.
Yeah, over and over again. So thank you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, for that bit of wisdom. Now it's kind of wild, and obviously Fox is having this mea culpa on COVID, because you know how we were railing against vaccine passports.
Right.
We've
everyone was.
We've railed against vaccine passports.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson's railed against vaccine passports. Laura Ingraham has railed against vaccine passports. Well, according to a new report, the Fox Corporation has instituted a strict COVID-19 policy that includes a vaccine passport, allowing only the company's fully vaccinated employees to work in their offices without wearing a mask or social distancing. So, Jay, where does that leave us? I mean, I know that some hosts like Tucker Carlson doesn't actually broadcast from within Fox Studios. I think he's actually in his home in Maine, so he may never actually have to go to the offices. Yeah. So I think he's been there since COVID was locked down, or ever at least since Antifa was trying to break into his house. But I will say this: anybody who goes on into any one of their shows in studio, we're going to have to automatically assume that they got the vaccine, right?
Right. That's exactly right. And everybody on every host, every programming host, every journalist, every whoever, they all got the vaccine, which is good. I mean, it's a good thing. Everybody should get the vaccine. But
Yeah.
I mean, vaccine passports are stupid.
So if anyone, if I hope that Marjorie Taylor Greene, she had to unblock me, by the way, because I put her on the list before she became a member of Congress. And then she unblocked me because too many people were filing lawsuits against her. Because when she became a member of Congress, I guess there was already legal precedent that you had to unblock. So I will make sure that every dumb tweet that she has, I post the vaccine song for her. Not over the top, but at least maybe like once a day, maybe once a week.
Once a week sounds good.
Yeah, until she blocks me again. But if there's something relating to the vaccine, I will definitely post the vaccine song.
I mean, all you got to do is show her a picture.
What?
Picture of your balls once, and she'll block you right away.
I'm gonna need a microscope, Jay. Do you have like a 50 times zoom lens on camera for your DSLR? Is it no more?
No, I do not.
Why not? So yeah, Fox is in a bit of a pickle right there. But you know who's also in a bit of a pickle, Jay?
Rick? No, who?
Oh, that's good. I like that. No, I was gonna say the Texas Dems, man. Did you see this shit?
Oh my God!
Now
yes.
six of them have gotten tested positive for COVID after leaving the state for DC. They had meetings with both Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and there is no indication of whether both Harris or Pelosi have COVID.
But some of their staffers got it. And
yes,
also, what's her name? Jen Psaki was saying that we're not going to disclose who else got it. And it's really
because it's a HIPAA violation, Jay. It's a HIPAA violation.
It's a HIPAA violation. But it's really fascinating. It's so fucking insanely fascinating to me that we don't see any of these fuckers in the media who were so up in arms about super spreader events within the Trump administration saying shit about this. There's not one tweet, not one. You'll not find one from Jake Tapper, who was rallying against all of this shit when it was under the Trump administration. Not one is coming out of him. You have you have no tweets from Washington Post or the New York Times, or stories coming out for that matter, about this these Texas Dems getting or contracting COVID. It's in. And then they want to come out and say that they're objective journalists. They can eat my dick. They can suck it first and then eat it, whichever one they prefer.
Well, Jay, if they eat it, will you no longer have a dick to be eaten?
It grows back every other month because all these motherfuckers gotta eat my dick. They got to. It's insane. And Jake Tapper is one of those people who like to come out and say that no, these are like, oh, this is a real journalist. This is a real No. These are all propaganda agents. Every one of them. Anyone who works for Fox, anyone who works for CNN, anyone who has that on their resume, who comes in as a press for CNN, who goes in and works as an anchor at CNN or Fox or MSNBC, they're propaganda agents. And it has opened so many people's eyes on it during the Trump administration and especially right now as well. Because you cannot be at an 11 and pretending like you're some fucking type of hero who is coming for these stories and then come at them at a 2 during the Biden administration. You completely expose yourself for what the fuck you are, and what you are is a piece of shit GAPA. That's what they are. Pieces of shit GAPAs.
Interestingly enough, ABC actually refused to tie the Texas Dems getting COVID to the DC COVID cases. It's actually gotten so bad. You actually have these corporate media outlets lying and obfuscating from the truth on behalf of these Texas Democrats in order to save democracy.
Wow. And they're going to save, and that's the other thing that they're doing. They're completely lying about these laws from Texas to Georgia to Florida, lying about them, saying that they're Jim Crow 2.0 and shit, to make it out like they're being heroes. How are they being heroes? How the fuck are they being heroes? I would really love to sit down with
Jay. That's a HIPAA violation. Okay.
That question is a HIPAA violation.
It's a HIPAA violation. Okay, just get it straight. All right. I don't want you to go get thrown in prison. You know. You
right.
and I are both
we don't
already.
Need this. We don't need this channel demonetized after showing a video of the hard R live.
Essentially.
100%.
Anyways, so I will have to say that the Texas Dems letting this whole thing blow up in their face, and the fact that they're also under threat of being under arrest when they return back to Texas because they're for dereliction of duty by breaking
dereliction.
Jay, is it possible that they might go to Gitmo before I do?
Honestly, you're too white to go to Gitmo.
That's also true too.
Your dad can't even be proud about that.
Yeah.
Going to Gitmo.
I will say this though. I haven't had a whole lot of time to pour through the election integrity bill that the Texas Republicans are trying to pass within the state legislature. So I'm going to hold off on commenting on that. But I will say is that
spoiler alert, it's nothing close to Jim
Crow. No, this is what I want to say, Jay. And this is something that is sort of like big picture item here, okay? Because both Democrats and Republicans want to pass election integrity measures, okay? Democrats want to centralize all elections in the United States. You know what that means? They want to basically have it go through one particular location. So whether it be if you nationalize it or federalize it, where you make it part of the federal government as opposed to being operated by the states, becomes easier to hack. When you have it run by the federal government, whoever is in control of the federal government, i.e., if you want to call it the deep state or all the establishment bureaucrats who basically always want to keep control, you're never going to have a free and fair election again. So when it comes to these measures, the fact that have gone absolutely insane over, and I'd say Democrats have gone absolutely insane over voter ID, which is something that they actually came around and like with Stacey Abrams saying, "Oh, we were never actually against voter ID," and then Kamala Harris saying, "Oh, we were never against voter ID."
Also, the majority whip, what's his name?
Clyburn.
I honestly can't remember his name. I can't remember his name, but he was saying it the same way. And then you could bring up tweets from him in October saying that voter ID was racist.
Yeah, like it's just amazing what how they stretch the truth or stretch anything to make it fit their narrative. I will tell you this: when it comes to voter suppression, that shit happens. Both parties do it. They just do it under different guises. I mean, the fact that you have these, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but you've had at least half the country believe that the 2020 election was rigged. I haven't heard anybody use the term voter suppression to describe voting election. When it comes to election rigging, voter suppression is only coined when it refers to a racist tactic of, say, silencing the black vote or Hispanic vote. Like they had this Arizona audit, and I got to tell you, there are a lot of Hispanics and Native Americans in Arizona. If there actually turned out to be serious evidence for election fraud, think of all those people of color that were suppressed from voting.
Right.
So it's all garbage. So, but yeah, I know we kind of got off on a tangent there, but kind of getting back to the issue of COVID, because we have this big thing going on. And I want to play this full clip for you, because this is actually quite stunning coming from the Hill. And that is an exchange between Rand Paul and Anthony Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, as you are aware, it is a crime to lie to Congress. Section 1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code creates a felony and a 5-year penalty for lying to Congress. On your last trip to our committee on May 11th, you stated that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And yet, gain-of-function research was done entirely in the Wuhan Institute by Dr. Shi and was funded by the NIH. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Wuhan virology paper entitled Discovery of a Rich Gene Pool of Bat SARS-Related Coronaviruses. Please deliver a copy of the journal article to Dr. Fauci. In this paper, Dr. Shi credits the NIH and lists the actual number of the grant that she was given by the NIH. In this paper, she took 2 bat coronavirus genes, spike genes, and combined them with a SARS-related backbone to create new viruses that are not found in nature. These lab-created viruses were then shown to replicate in humans. These experiments combine genetic information from different coronaviruses that infect animals but not humans to create novel artificial viruses able to infect human cells. Viruses that in nature only infect animals were manipulated in the Wuhan lab to gain the function of infecting humans. This research fits the definition of the research that the NIH said was subject to the pause in 2014 to 2017, a pause in funding on gain of function. But the NIH failed to recognize this, defines it away, and it never came under any scrutiny. Dr. Richard E. Bright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, described this research in Wuhan as the Wuhan lab used NIH funding to construct novel chimeric SARS-related coronaviruses able to infect human cells and laboratory animals. This is high-risk research that creates new potential pandemic pathogens that exist only in the lab, not in nature. This research matches, these are Dr. E. Bright's words, this research matches, indeed epitomizes, the definition of gain-of-function research, done entirely in Wuhan, for which there was supposed to be a federal pause. Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Your microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. Let me finish. You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function? Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about. Okay, you get NIH, one person. Let's read from the NIH definition of gain of function. This is your definition that you guys wrote. It says that scientific research that increases the transmissibility among mammals is gain of function. They took animal viruses that only occur in animals and they increased their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function? It is not. It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world from a pandemic.
And let's Dr. Fauci.
I have to, well, now you're getting into something. If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2. That's where you are getting. Let me finish. We don't know. Well, we don't wait know a minute. If it did come from the lab, but all the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself. I totally
This committee will allow the witness to respond.
I totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator, because if you look at the viruses that were used in the experiments, that were given in the annual reports, that were published in the literature,
It is molecularly impossible.
No one's saying those viruses caused it.
It
no
is
one is alleging that
molecularly.
those viruses caused the pandemic. What we're alleging is that gain-of-function research was going on in that lab, and NIH funded it.
That
you
is
can't
not.
get away from it. It meets your definition, and you are obfuscating the truth.
I'm not obfuscating the truth.
Senator
You are the
Paul's
one.
time is expired, but I will allow the witness to.
Let me just finish. I want everyone to understand that if you look at those viruses, and that's judged by qualified virologists and evolutionary biologists, those viruses are molecularly impossible
No one's
to
saying
result
they are. No
in
one's saying those viruses
SARS-CoV-2.
caused the pandemic.
Senator Paul,
We're saying they are gain-of-function viruses because they were
they're not.
animal viruses that became more transmissible in human, and you funded it.
And
won't
you
admit the truth.
And you
Senator
implying.
Paul, your time has expired, and I will allow witnesses who come before this committee to respond.
And you are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individual. I totally resent
could
that.
have
And
been.
if anybody
could
is
have been.
lying here, Senator, it is you.
Senator Smith.
Holy shit.
You.
It got so bad that even Josh Rogan of the Washington Post said, hey guys, Rand Paul was right and Fauci was wrong. The NIH was funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan, but NIH pretended it didn't meet their gain-of-function definition to avoid their own oversight mechanisms. Sorry, not sorry if that doesn't fit your favorite narrative. Which, Jay, I got to say, I'm not entirely sure if Josh Rogan is actually being serious here just because it's such a stunning omission for him to make.
Well, I think in a lot of Josh Rogan in a lot of these situations has not been as reserved with his opinions as a lot of these other journalists have been. And the fact that this isn't a huge story is also a condemnation to our journalistic industry within the United States. Mm-hmm. They work no different than state media in other countries where they suppress or kill a story with a pillow.
With a pillow.
No, seriously, they suffocate it. They hide it and suffocate a story. And this is what they're doing with what's going on right now with Fauci, because they dietized him. They made him out to be a fucking god because they're dumb as shit. Our media, I swear to God, my jihad is to turn the media complex into ashes and then piss on their ashes while their mother sucks my dick.
Well, I mean, Jay, it wasn't all sunshine and roses for Dr. Anthony Fauci, as he got to read tweets with Disney singer turned pop singer Olivia Rodrigo. As the White House tweets out, concerts, vaccine bobbleheads, and even Man Crush Monday. Watch Olivia Rodrigo and Dr. Fauci read fan tweets. Fuck it. I got the clip. Let's just play it.
Do it. Let us all.
Olivia Rodrigo tells you to get vaccinated. You get vaccinated.
Here's one that says, I got my first dose of the Fauci ouchie.
Hey, I'm Olivia Rodrigo.
And I'm Tony Fauci.
Today we're here in the White House and we're going to read some tweets about the vaccine.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm taking an immunology course and I got an A on my last exam. My immediate thought was, wouldn't Dr. Fauci be proud of me? Absolutely. When you get vaccinated, your body makes an immune response that's going to protect you against the virus. So maybe this person can go and talk about the immunology of getting vaccinated.
Heck yeah, I'm proud of them. And somebody said, Olivia Rodrigo to the vaccine clinic. Very true. All of the funny puns, as long as you're getting vaccinated, that's great. Whatever it takes.
I had a dream that I got the COVID-19 vaccine and met Dr. Fauci afterwards. I told him that I'd bought his bobblehead, and he was super cool about it.
I saw your bobblehead today.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was great. Did anyone else spend their Friday afternoon driving to their second vaccine appointment and crying to Olivia Rodrigo, or was that just me? Hey, I love that. I'm so happy that I'm soundtracking your vaccine appointment. That's great. That makes me very happy.
PPL made fun of these Dr. Fauci prayer candles, but we got my dad one for his birthday in November. So he lit it every night, and everyone in my immediate family was fully vaccinated, so maybe there's something there.
I need like a Fauci candle and the Fauci bobblehead right next to each other. Wear your mask and get your vaccines. I need to see Olivia Rodrigo live in concert in the first row. Get your vaccines. I'm so excited to tour one of these days. And I'm just so excited to go to a concert, aren't you?
I agree. I want to go to a concert for sure, for sure. If I tell you the greatest concert that I've ever been to, you're going to faint. Because the reason is I'm so old, it goes back to the late 1950s at the Paramount Theater in New York City, which was a Motown concert with the Temptations, the Four Tops. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm a really old guy.
That's incredible.
Yep. Happy Man Crush Monday to this hero. Thank you, Dr. Fauci, for all your hard work. We appreciate your intelligence, honest, bravery, compassion. We love you. Well, that's very nice to say that.
Do you know what Man Crush Monday means?
No idea.
Man Crush Monday is just like on Mondays people will like post a picture of their boyfriends and they'll be like, oh, Man Crush Monday, this is why I love you. So it's a big
All
compliment.
right, well, whatever it takes. If Man Crush Monday makes you get vaccinated, go for it.
Are these chills from my second dose of the vaccine or from listening to Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo for the big numberth time today? Oh my gosh, I hope they're from Deja Vu.
Well, that person brings up a good point that I think we should let people know. When you get vaccinated, if you get particularly the 2-dose vaccine, after the second dose, you can sometimes feel fatigued, maybe a little chilly. That's a good thing because when your body has that reaction, that means your immune system is revving up and making a really good response against the virus.
Yeah, I had the same thing after my second shot.
You did?
I just took a little nap and I was like fine a couple hours later.
All right.
Got home at 4 a.m. from seeing friends. Currently singing Olivia Rodrigo, brushing my hair in the bathroom mirror. Shout out to vaccines for real. The sooner all of us get vaccines, the sooner we can like hang out with our friends and sing songs and all of the fun things.
All right.
We just finished reading some tweets about the vaccine. If you want to learn more about vaccines and where you can get vaccinated, visit vaccines.gov.
It's such garbage. Like, it's so garbage. It's disgusting. It's absolute. Oh, hello.
Hey. Oh, wait. How are you able to do that?
I like looking at your face. You're like, what? How did that happen?
I'm like, is that coming into the actual feed? Wow. My God. That
was so good. That was the most haram thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I hope they both died in a fucking fire of hell.
I have to say this. Anthony Fauci didn't say people. He said PPL. He literally said out loud PPL.
He's that old. He doesn't even know the acronym for people is PPL.
People. Yeah.
He's that old. He's that old. And it was so awkward. Some of the jokes they tried to land with each other, all that kind of stuff. Nobody understood each other's what's it called, punchlines and stuff.
I just have to say that the whole thing is a HIPAA violation.
No, honestly, the whole thing is haram. It's a sin, essentially, 100%.
100%. But you know what, Jay? We got something better on the horizon. You want to know why?
Let me see it.
Maybe Jen Psaki will censor this because of the misinformation that this is spreading.
Censoring me, who was just giving that.
She came in like a sake bomb. Yeah, she's nothing like that robot blonde or a hug to your dancing charm. She handles questions refreshingly.
Go fuck yourself.
She's our secretary.
This may be hard to believe. We don't spend a lot of time talking about or thinking about President Trump here. Former President Trump, to be very clear.
I wonder, is her asshole also red?
Oh man. So yeah, Jen Yazaki wants to censor all of her social media.
Jen Yazaki.
So let's actually go ahead and play this a little bit
with these social media platforms, and those engagements typically happen through members of our senior staff, but also members of our COVID-19 team. Given, as Dr. Murthy conveyed, this is a big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic. In terms of actions, Alex, that we have taken, or we're working to take, I should say, from the federal government, we've increased disinformation research and tracking within the Surgeon General's office. We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. We're working with doctors and medical professionals to connect to connected medical experts who are popular with their audiences with accurate information and boost trusted content. So we're helping get trusted content out there. We also created the COVID Community Corps to get factual information into the hands of local messengers. And we're also investing, as you all have seen, in the president's, the vice president's, and Dr. Fauci's time in meeting with.
Yeah, so Jay, they actually doubled down on this shit. Here's Kate Bedingfield on that Morning Joe.
Well, we're reviewing that, and certainly they should be held accountable. And I think you've heard the president speak very aggressively about this. He understands this is an important piece of the ecosystem. But it's also the other thing the president has pointed out and spoke to when he was asked about this yesterday is it is also the responsibility of the people creating the content. And again, I would go back to, there are conservative news outlets who are creating irresponsible content that's sharing misinformation about the virus that's getting shared on these platforms.
So now they care about misinformation being spread on conservative news outlets, specifically after crying for 4 years about President Trump simply criticizing the media and saying that the press is essential to a free republic and a free democracy, and democracy dies in darkness. And how dare you, Mr. President, try to silence us journalists. And the fucking Crystalliza sweatshirt that he wore that says the world needs journalists. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Say it. Say it with your chest, Habibi. Say it with your chest. Yes. These motherfuckers. These pieces of fucking garbage. It's insane. Yeah. And it's really, really fucking... Well, that is true. I mean, that song was a HIPAA violation.
That was a HIPAA violation.
That was a HIPAA violation. Absolutely, Anthony. Please put him in his place. Yeah. Now... No, this whole shit is fucking insane. And then you see CNN and these people, like, have you seen a tweet or have you seen any segment within Jake Tapper or Brian Stelter coming out against this as freedom of the press? Any one of them coming out against it? Or did they ask them, no, really, do you think that Facebook is killing people? Because I think they are. Also, we need to look at Fox News. It's like, oh my God, do you think people don't see what you're fucking doing? Do you honestly don't think that we don't understand that you're trying to piggyback on this to silence and criticize any other fucking type of information that doesn't come from you gappers? They honestly think that. And their fans and people who watch them are that stupid. That's for sure.
It's so bad that look, free speech is essential.
100%.
To a free society, and the fact that the White House, the head of the federal fucking government, is taking the position that they are going to work with a private enterprise in Facebook, one of the major big tech companies, in flagging posts for misinformation and for possibly silencing and deplatforming conservative sites, which they basically, the White House now becomes an arbiter of truth on what is misinformation and what is not. That's literally fascism, Jay. I don't know if you know that, but that is the literal definition of fascism, the coordination of the public and private sector specifically to restrict freedom within the society. Right. I mean, I don't know how else no one has pointed that out yet, but that is literally what it is.
Right. And there are other people who have pointed it out, but they're considered misinformation. So
yeah, that's
really, that's how they're going to win the game. That's how they're going to try to win the game, is going to these type of opinions, the one that you just said, they're going to consider it as misinformation. So other people trying to say it as well will be considered and labeled as misinformation. Just like what you saw with Ben Shapiro with the Daily Wire and NPR, just like how you're seeing CNN trying to label Fox News as misinformation. They see it as a powerful label, especially now, and especially because a lot of stupid people are scared shitless and have to like cling on whatever the administration is saying, or Fauci is saying, or the CDC is saying, because that's how they're wired. I feel so bad. I feel like I pity these people. You know what I mean? Like I feel like even spitting on them is too good for them.
It's because your DNA would be on them, and that improves their stature.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and even shitting on them would not help. You don't
100%.
Essentially. Yeah. So I just, up is down, white is black.
Siraj is it an incel?
Siraj isn't an incel. Siraj is getting it. I mean, the whole world is going crazy. It is absolute tyranny. It's totalitarianism. I don't know how to say it. That's basically what it is. It's basically leading into a Cuban dictatorship, because there are enough Americans who are simping for the Cuban dictatorship. That's almost like they're trying to replicate that shit here in the United States. And I give you example A, and that is of Black Lives Matter not having the fucking balls to post this on their Twitter. They post it on their Instagram, specifically, and then turn off comments. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'll read out the statement in case you can't read it. But it says, Black Lives Matter condemns the U.S. federal government's inhumane treatment of Cubans and urges it to immediately lift the economic embargo. This cruel and inhumane policy, instituted with the explicit intention of destabilizing the country and undermining Cubans' right to choose their own government, is at the heart of Cuba's current crisis. Since 1962, the United States has forced pain and suffering on the people of Cuba by cutting off food, medicine, and supplies, costing the tiny island nation an estimated $130 billion. Without that money, it is harder for Cuba to acquire medical equipment needed to develop its own COVID-19 vaccines and equipment for food production. This comes in spite of the country's strong medical care and history of lending doctors and nurses to disasters around the world. The people of Cuba are being punished by the U.S. government because the country has maintained its commitment to sovereignty and self-determination. United States leaders have tried to crush this revolution for decades. Notice how they left out communism. Instead of international amity, respect, and goodwill, the U.S. government has only instigated suffering for the country's 11 million people, of which 4 million are black and brown. Got to throw that in there, right? Not that those black and brown people are not that those black and brown people are being oppressed by their own government. Cuba has historically demonstrated solidarity with oppressed peoples of African descent, from protecting black revolutionaries like Assata Shakur through granting her asylum, to supporting black liberation struggles in Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and South Africa. And it finally finishes off by saying, now we elect President Biden to end the embargo, something Barack Obama called for in 2016. This embargo is a blatant human rights violation, and it must come to an end. End quote. Jay,
that's the blatant human rights violation.
I expect nothing less from the same account that tweeted "Rest in peace, Fidel Castro" in 2016.
Right, exactly right. Because he wasn't oppressing these people or causing human rights violations whatsoever.
No,
and it's very funny that they praise them for housing a fucking terrorist in their country. Like, oh yeah, that deserves praise.
Yeah, even Michael Smirkanish, who's a host on CNN, who covered that beat of the Assata Shakur shooting in Philadelphia, like, he has gone on the record to say, yeah, no, Assata Shakur did that shit. It's just
right.
I mean, like the amount of, it's like the level of, when Cori Bush was trying to make the statement about being against the death penalty, and then like basically said, say their names in response to like the number of death row inmates who were put to death before President Trump left office. Like, these are literally some of the worst people that she was basically saying, say their names. It's just, I mean, like, if Black Lives Matter was truly an organization that wanted to improve the livelihoods and the well-being of Black and brown people throughout the world, I should say, they would not support communism of all things. Right. You have, while there is, there was another director. There was a director, Boots Riley, who deleted his fucking Twitter account. And I put him on the list, so we'll see how that pans out. Who literally put out a tweet thread about how there were actually elections in Cuba, and then tried to say, while there was all under one party, that means there's technically no party. No, it's all fucking communist. It's just, Jay.
It's so funny that the excuses they tried to push for communists and for places like Cuba and places like China and all this kind of stuff, it's just fucking sickening. It really is. It's so sick. And BLM to come out and say this type of shit.
But Jay, but you get what I'm saying about this, right? Because, and I want everybody to understand, at this juncture, it makes more sense that Black Lives Matter, the organization, is a racketeering scheme. They are specifically designed now to make money off of the dead bodies of Black and brown people. And it sounds very grim to say that, but if it's just like being a doctor, if you cure cancer, some of those doctors are going to go out of business. If you stop killing Black people, Black and brown people, Black Lives Matter goes out of business. People, if you have like equality, then these people aren't going to make money. So they rather make money and continue to exploit some of these tragedies for their own monetary gain and political gain than actually see a resolution to the problem. And that is what I mean by a racketeering scheme. This is all this. I mean, they're going to be around so long as they're making money. And if people actually wake up, to the bullshit that they put out there, like this communist Marxist agenda, which even Joe Biden, of all people, President Biden, to his credit, and I tweeted this out, like he said, communism is an outdated system. It is antithetical to the United States, and it has no place here. Is essentially 100% what he said.
100%.
And kudos to President Biden for saying that, because it doesn't have any place here in the United States. Even Jen Yazaki said it. And so the fact that you have an organization like Black Lives Matter still putting out these talking points that actually, you know what? Cuba did nothing wrong. It's all the United States. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's so fucking insane because the embargo also, like, to say the embargo is what's oppressing the people is the dumbest shit you can say ever. Because the United States also is one of the main providers of food to Cuba as well, especially chicken. Like, it's fucking insane. It's like these people, they just don't think 2 steps ahead of themselves. They just think that they're being so righteous to shit on the United States and back things like Cuba that they look stupid as fuck. Absolutely fucking stupid as shit. So if you see a friend, if you see a family member who is out there, supporting Cuba and shitting on the United States or calling the embargo what it's really oppressing the Cuban people, go and slap them. Do them a favor. Slap your dick across their face.
And Jay, I know this sounds like very reductive and possibly very what's the word I'm looking for? Condescending, but like if people really want to be like if they hate the United States that much and think Cuba's so great, why don't you go fucking live in Cuba? What's stopping you from going to live in Cuba? Like this fuckhead, Benjamin Norton of this dude from Grey Zone News who makes the list like basically every other week at this point, but he says if democracy is defined as a government representing the people, Cuba is way more democratic than the USA. But the U.S. defines democracy as having a show election every 4 years between 2 right-wing warmongers who are funded by billionaires and govern on behalf of corruptions. And then follows it up by saying, Cuba does have local elections, by the way, and its elected officials are way more representative of the people than the pro-war millionaires in the United States Congress. Where does he live? Is that Latino America? Well, maybe he already lives there.
Yeah, he could. Let's find. I mean, I doubt it.
Maybe he's one of the few people who actually lives there. And you know,
if you look at him, he does look like he's malnourished.
Kudos. Yeah, he does look. He's probably in Venezuela. Oh my God. But that's funny. Relaxing Party brings up a great point. So now they're admitting elections are rigged. Jay, and this gets to a broader issue. Like, you know how there has been like all this discussion about elections being rigged from 2018 with Stacey Abrams to 2016 with Donald Trump beating Hillary Clinton. Like, what is stopping people from saying that 2020 wasn't rigged? Like, is it because that it was specifically, if they say the election was rigged, that it would be in support of Donald Trump and they hate Donald Trump? I'm just trying to rack my brain around it.
And also, you get the media to come out against you and demonize you like a fucking crazy person, while the same people within the same media that are doing that were coming out and saying that Trump colluded with Russia in order to win 2016. So it's really insane to me that you have the same people within the 4-year period crying and decrying that Russia collusion was the reason why Trump wanted to come out and say that you're crazy to even think there was any iota of election fraud or any of that kind of stuff.
And this goes back to our conversation about misinformation and the White House trying to basically strengthen its grip on social media posts. Like, they want to silence you, and they want to make sure that your opinions, whether they are acceptable or not, specifically they only want the acceptable ones. They don't give a shit who you are. If you're saying something that is against the state, then you're done. And Jen Psaki said it out loud for the record during a press conference that if you're banned from one social media platform, you should be banned from all social media platforms. Now, people have gotten on me, specifically the Groypers, for being like pro censorship because of the list. Now, Jay, you know very well that the list has never been designed to censor people. It's really just to highlight their bad takes. So every time I say that the list works, I always mean it facetiously, never seriously. And yet the Groypers don't have a fucking sense of humor and always think that, because Nick Fuentes got banned, I had something to do with it. No, I didn't have anything to do with it. I would stick to that story if I really had a big ego, but the Habibis dunk on me every single day to bring me back down to earth, so they'll never let me get to that point.
No, it's never going to happen. So the only people who post L's worse than Siraj are Gropers who think that Siraj has any fucking influence whatsoever on people getting banned or deleting their accounts. It's insane. It's hilarious.
So like they are trying to strengthen their grip now because I think they know that with the things like the Arizona audit happening and other audits that are in the wings and this investigation into the 2020 election that's still ongoing, by the way. We haven't really covered it because a lot of it is still, there's not as much information coming out. And also probably because we'll get the platform if we talk about it. So that's probably why we'll save it for Patreon.
We'll just wait.
We'll just wait on that. And so they're trying to strengthen their grip on what you say on the public, because once, say, information does get out about the 2020 election and it doesn't really work out in the favor of, say, the Biden administration, they're going to want to have that kill switch in place to basically deplatform anyone who puts out information that might bring upon scrutiny that, hey, maybe the 2020 election was rigged. Maybe it wasn't Dominion voting machines. Maybe it was mail-in ballots, because I don't know about you, but there were a shit ton of rule changes before the 2020 election. And in those 6 swing states, you have Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and what's the last one I'm thinking? I think Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
In those 6 swing states, you had it where there was recent evidence that mail-in ballots were basically, they weren't folded in. They basically didn't have the serial numbers, and they weren't folded, so they were possibly invalid votes happening. We'll wait to see what happens, but I mean, I've been following it, and it is, Jay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like there's more that might be coming down the pipeline.
I think so. I think so too. There's going to be a lot more coming out of it, and it just feels Alex Jonesy and like,
yeah,
a little hat wearing type of scenario talking about this type of stuff. But it's honestly true. And to be able to talk about this stuff, to be able to voice your concerns about stuff shouldn't get you banned. Shouldn't.
Yeah. Even
Should
just
not.
asking, literally just asking the question, why is that like spreading misinformation?
Right. And also giving the power to government to consider what is misinformation and what's not. How many times have we been burned by the government as people of the United States? How many times have we been lied to? Doesn't matter which administration, doesn't matter if it's Republican or if it's Democrat or whatever. How many times have we been fucking lied to by the government?
Exactly.
And for us to think they deserve the right to consider what is misinformation? No, fuck you and fuck anyone who thinks that way.
Yeah. Mr. Kenzo says, when Nick Fuentes got banned, I had to take off my pants to take care of my happiness, and in an hour I did it again. Bart the Tree Guy says the Habibis don't bring you back down to earth. They make sure you don't get above ground level. I saw another Daniel Garma says, whatever happened to the Durham investigation? Great fucking question. I don't know. Not Steve says Siraj will be selling us supplements next week. John Smith says Siraj takes without the Habibis would be Fuentes level nonsense. And then Prismage says, rip your shirt off like Alex Jones. I'm just saying, if you truly care about the truth, you should not be afraid to at least ask the question. And when you see something that seems off, you should not be punished for saying, hey, this seems off. We should look into that. But if that goes against the state, then all of a sudden, boom, you're a persona non grata. You should be deplatformed. You should be shamed. You should have your livelihood stripped away. You should be smeared and basically called a kook. It's just that, this is not a free country anymore, and you really do hate to see how and it hasn't been free. It has not been a free country for a while. I say that obviously not because President Biden is in office, but because the government makes us feel like we have a voice by having elections. And this is the only thing I will agree with Ben Norton on, is that the ruling elite really do run the country, and they will never give up power. So
no, they won't.
And that's a sad thing. So maybe we actually are more like Cuba than we let on. So anyways, with that being said, Jay, did you have anything else?
No.
All right, let's get to our final segment. That is Ask Us Anything. Habibis, go ahead and get those questions in. And also, if you want to, for our Patreon level Habibis, we love to, if you have any questions you want us to ask Carol Roth, who is our guest this week, please go ahead and send them away. And then we're going to be talking about our book. It's very fascinating. It gets into sort of like the 10,000 foot look view about how not only did COVID completely wreck small business, but specifically focus on how capitalism has been framed in today's society, and how things like cronyism and regulatory capture are basically not capitalism, but specifically because of government intervention. So say, for example, if you're not familiar with like the regulatory capture, it's basically for anyone for a particular like regulatory agency, they are basically entrenched with members of a particular private enterprise or private company that is now in charge of regulating that company. Do you get what I'm saying? That seem you're familiar with that term, right, Jay?
Yeah, you're making sort of sense.
I'm making a little bit of sense. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Robert says, when is Siraj buying his Habibi's Fauci candles? Maybe inshallah soon. Blake says, why is Ern not in the shot? It's because I let him go upstairs and wanted to let him go chase his medicine ball filled with treats in it. So Hakirat says, read the comments in Baijan mode. Okay, sir. Janice says, where is my earned postcard? It is I had it on my to-do list. I was going to do it, and then I got tired.
That's what's amazing. I mean, you're jobless. You wake up at 2 p.m. and you still get tired.
Let's see. President Mitch says, did you get a free earned postcard with the book? I did not.
What book?
Benjamin Hager says, what is the first thing that comes to mind when I say Michael Tracy? Jay?
Assault by a 93-year-old black congresswoman.
I remember that. That was so good. That was so good. Okay, President Mitch, are there going to be pictures in this book?
Which book? What book is he talking about? You making a book? What book are you making?
Caro.
Caro.
You guys says, why is Jay turning into a boomer as well? Breaking promises, breaking my heart.
No, Bart the Tree Guy. I promise you. Right after this, I am downloading Counter-Strike Go because I need to be a terrorist and wreck your ass. That's what I need to do, and that's what's going to happen. I promise.
Baymentol giving very nice donation. Says
very nice.
Story about that last week. Not really. Get wrecked, Siraj. Faye says, it's on my to-do list. I'll get to it eventually. Kind of like what my wife says to me when I ask her about having a Jay. Trust me when I tell you this. Pain.
Yeah, that's pain. That's pain right there.
Fuzzy
that's
says,
beautiful.
Hey Jake, can you scoot close to your camera straight on and hold still for a couple seconds, then a side profile asking for the jihad meme factory. Thanks, Lipsky. More side. Look more this way. More this way, sir. This way. Hold on. You go this way, Bart says, hey Siraj, say some doctor speak in that voice. If you can. Low.
Yeah, if you actually know any doctor speak.
What is doctor speak? Oh, I would know if I went to medical school, I see.
Exactly. If you didn't fuck out and become a fucking journalist.
Okay.
Habibi, I love you 100%.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. People thought I rage quit last week. I'm good, sir. I am most good.
You are most good.
Habibi, good. I'm A1 tipped off first class. A1 tipped off first class. So good. Blake says, will you endorse me as city council candidate? No, I don't.
Hell no. No, I don't endorse.
We don't endorse shit. Sorry, Blake. Sorry.
I apologize. Sorry, not so sorry. Sorry, not so sorry.
We are two Habibis who do a show. We don't endorse. Sorry. But good luck to you, sir.
Inshallah.
Anthony says, I'm starting to feel bad for Siraj. Giannis says, I am sucker for Pakistani accent.
There you go.
And says, do you think I should create an Indian version of this? They have quite bad takes.
Yes, do it.
If you
Go
want
it.
to. I mean, it is,
Make it multicultural.
I don't have a monopoly. A monopoly. Monopoly. On
Monopoly. Sir, I need to go pee-pee.
Okay, sir. So we let you go. Okay, sir. Habibis. No, Jay. Hold on. We'll end it. We'll end it right here.
We'll end it right now? Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. So,
for the Habibi Bros.
I'm just trying to drag it out as much as I can. Habibi, thank you so much for joining us tonight. For the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we'll see you next time on Habibi Power Hour. Stay tuned for our next episode. Kel Roth is our special guest. Demigod Habibis. Check us out 9 p.m. Thursday East. And on the weekend, it will be out on our Patreon. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Habibi_Bros. And of course, you can go ahead and check out our Linktree and Discord channels for everything else. Love y'all, Habibis. Have a good night. Peace. Masalama.